Hey guys, here with another knife review, and this is the Kershaw 1760 Skyline. And I actually purchased this knife off the recommendation of Nut and Fancy, and I'm very glad I did. This is a rockin' knife, and this is obviously, probably as most people know, probably going to be an everyday carry knife, an EDC knife, you know, just a utility knife you carry with you every day. And, well, getting into the blade here. This blade is made out of 14, and I always screw up the steel on this knife, 14 C28N, I believe that's what it is. Anyway, I really like the steel on this knife, and from my use of it, I've found it to be a very high performance steel. I really like it a lot, and I would put it on the mark, on par with something like S30V. I don't know. I've used this steel a lot. You can't tell maybe from where, but I have used this knife a lot, and it takes a razor sharp edge, incredibly sharp. And with my Spyderco Sharp Maker, I can maintain an incredibly sharp edge on there consistently. It's just so sharp, and razor sharp out of the box. I just love this knife. It slices so well. Really, really nice, and holds an edge for a pretty long time. I did a lot of cardboard cutting with this, and I was very happy with the results. It stayed sharp for a pretty long time. Obviously not something you know, on par with a super high performance steel or a super steel like I don't know, ZDP 189 or something like that. But this also has a lot more corrosion resistance than something like ZDP 189. So I really like the steel. The blade shape on here is just awesome. A good amount of belly in there. Now, this is actually more of a spear point blade, but it's kind of a wider blade than a lot of spear points, like you know, like the CRKT M16s or knives like that. And so they were able to get a lot of belly in there. So I really like this blade shape. It is hollow ground. However, it's not a thick blade. It starts off pretty thin, and then they hollow grind it. So, I don't know, it's not the thickest, most robust, heavy-duty blade, but I still really like it. And this knife, along with several other Kershaws that I've been using lately, have kind of started me warming up to the thinner blades. Generally, I was more of a fan of a little bit thicker blades, like this one. This is the Manix 2. I still love this knife. That's a 3mm thick blade. One of my favorite knives of all time is the H&K 14205, which has a really thick blade. But these just perform so well, it's hard to not like them. And I'm not going to say I thrashed on this knife, because I didn't put it through like super hard use tests, but I carried it for probably a month or two, and you know, I just used it for all the tasks I had every day. And I didn't hold back on it. I just used it how it needed to be used. So, you know, if that really meant pushing down on it and, you know, stabbing something or really using it hard, I did. And I never felt it, you know, kind of bobble. It never felt weak. It always felt like it was going to stand up to the punishment I gave it. And that gets into the locking mechanism on here. It's a liner lock. So, you know, it's not a super tough frame lock. It's not a back lock. But I believe that it's going to be perfectly adequate for all of your everyday tasks, because I used it for a long time in all my everyday tasks, and it held up great. So, I like the lock on there. And as far as usability, I definitely like liner locks and frame locks better than a back lock. More like this knife, the Delica by Spyderco. I still love this knife, but if I have to choose just on ergonomics and usability, I definitely choose a liner lock. But it's not ambidextrous, you know, like this one is. So, you know, they both have ups and downs. So, the liner lock is not a super thick lock bar, but it's not super thin either. Kind of a medium thickness, and locks in very solidly and positively. Now, here, your two opening methods on here. is, first of all, this thumb stud. Now, if you look at this, the left side is flush. So if you're a lefty, it's going to be really hard to get to that, because it's the same side as thumb stud, but there's a steel liner on this side and not on this side. So it kind of, I don't know if you see what I'm talking about. This side sticks out more. So for right-handed people, you can get to this. Lefties, probably not. You kind of have to dig a little in there. You really have to kind of dig in there. It's not just like you're just going to slide through and just catch it naturally, but if you dig in there, it flicks out very quickly. And this is really more of kind of pushing up, not out as much. So you just push up and it flies out of that handle. So very nice. However, I think most people are going to open it with this flipper back here. And it's a nice big flipper. I like that. Some designs like this, this is the Buck Vantage, another good knife, but you see the difference in flippers. This one's much bigger and it gives you much more leverage. That one's much easier to get out. I still give it a little bit of wrist, but it's pretty easy to get out. This one, you can still get it out, but it takes a little more practice. So I like that thumb flipper on there a lot. Now your handles on here are G10 on both sides, and it's a really nice high traction G10. It provides a lot of purchase on there, and I think G10 wears down just a little bit as you use it. Like this G10 was actually really good traction when I first got it. I think it's worn down a little with use, but it still feels good in the hand, and I don't feel like I'm going to drop it at all. And you have this finger trail here, no jimping on that top spine, so that's kind of sad. Not even a thumb ramp, it's just total flat top. But it's kind of funny because you can sit the knife like that on a table and it just stays there. But anyway, side note, so no jimping there, but you have this deep finger trail, and your flipper comes out there and provides some even more protection from slipping up. So, putting your pointer finger in there, you really do get a very nice purchase with it. And I wouldn't feel like I'm going to slip up on this at all with whatever I'm doing. Now, as I was saying, you do have your steel liner for your lock bar on this side, not on this side. And I like that. It saves on weight, and you don't need that extra steel on this side. Saves weight. This knife weighs in just over 2 ounces. It's a very lightweight knife, very carryable, and it's also very thin. And that's also a really important aspect in carry. So I like that a lot. Now, it is mini Torx bit construction throughout, so you can take it apart if you want to. And made in the USA. So for you guys that like US made products, this is definitely a great option. Now, your clip on here is positionable right hand only, which doesn't bother me too much because you can't really get to your thumb stud, or it's hard to disengage the lock as a lefty. It's pretty much a right-handed knife only anyway. But you have tip up and tip down. As you can see, I prefer tip up. It doesn't ride all that deep, and that's kind of a disappointment. However, it hasn't been a showstopper for me. And just in everyday carry, it's been fine. And I'll show you on a pair of pants here. On jeans, it doesn't ride all that low, but it does leave some sticking up there, and gives you something to grab onto, and it really hasn't been all that bad at all. And the clip really provides a good amount of spring tension, so I don't feel like I'm going to lose this at all. It's just maybe not as concealed or hidden or something as something like, I don't know, this is a Gerber AR 3.0, as a clip like that. So I'd prefer this type of clip, but this is fine. And it would ride a little lower with tip down. Now the clip itself is good as well. It's a very simple design. It's not like a really fancy clip, but that's fine. It looks good. Simple is better maybe. It works. And I like the silver color a lot. Probably better than a blackened clip. I just really like matte silver. As you saw, it blends in pretty nice with jeans, but also goes well on khakis. So you see there, I think it's just a good all-around color. So really great knife. I like it a lot. I think they're going for around $35 right now, which for the performance of steel you're getting, the quality of G10, made in USA, it's totally worth the money. Definitely worth it. And I don't know, if you don't have one and you're into knives, you should go get one. They're awesome. Just go buy one. You'll be happy with it. And if not, there's plenty of guys out there that'll buy it off you. So I don't know. I'll annotate some competition, some good competition, I think, for it. That way I can change it in years to come, you know, and update it. But I don't know. I like it. It is partial flow-through construction on there, so you can blow stuff out, you know, pocket lint or whatever. And I don't know, just a solid design. I'll give you a quick size comparison to some other things out there. It is kind of a medium-sized knife, and I like that because it's good for all-around use. There's an Endura, and I'll show you the Delica. And here's the Gerber AR 3.0. One competitive option I'll just throw out there right now is the Spyderco Persistence or Tenacious. Those are nice. The Delica. Here's the Manix 2. Rat 1. CRKT Drifter. Stainless. Kershaw Leak. By the way, guys, if there's any comparison videos you'd like to see, you know, in between any of these knives I'm showing you, definitely let me know. So, there it is. I don't know. I just like it. It's awesome. Hard to beat. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to weigh in the comments. So, see you guys. Bye.